Hollywood may be known for its fast-paced and chaotic atmosphere, but occasionally, we hear stories that remind us of the good in humanity. Like this one of a sick baby who was abandoned by her mother, but was found and adopted by Katherine Heigl 15 years ago. Let's take a look at what happened and how the family is faring 15 years later. In 2009, the story began in Seoul with the birth of a newborn, whose mother couldn't be found a day after giving birth. Authorities started searching for her and did so for a month but couldn't find her. Surprisingly, no one came to claim the child. But that wasn't the only problem. The baby had a congenital heart problem. At the time, the little girl child was simply taken to an orphanage home. Katherine Heigl was on the other side of the world, popular, loved, and wealthy. She had grown up in a loving family with a lovable, adopted big sister, and had always understood the importance of family. She was born in Washington, D.C., at Columbia Hospital for Women on November 24, 1978. She's the youngest of 4 children in Nancy Engelhardt, a personal manager, and Paul Heigl, a financial executive and accountant. Her father was of Irish, Swiss, German ancestry, while her mother was German. Heigl began her career as a child model with Wilhelmina Models before she became interested in acting. Her film debut was in That Night in 1992. She played Dr. Easy Stevens on the ABC television medical drama Grey's Anatomy from 2005 to 2010, a role that brought her recognition and accolades, including the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series in 2007. She was also a rom-com star. Knocked Up happened to be her biggest break. She also starred in 27 Dresses, another rom-com released in 2008. She also served as an executive producer and lead actress in the short-lived NBC television series State of Affairs and the Netflix series Firefly Lane and Woodhull. Katherine Heigl has also established herself as a cover model, appearing in numerous publications, including Maxim, Vanity Fair, and Cosmopolitan. Heigl got engaged to her then-boyfriend, singer Josh Kelley, in June 2006. The lovebirds had met in 2005 on the set of Kelley's music video, Only You. The couple chose not to live together till after their marriage. Heigl said of this decision, "I think I just wanted to save something for the actual marriage. I wanted there to be something to make the actual marriage different from dating or courtship." The couple tied the knot on December 23, 2007, in Park City, Utah. Back when Heigl was a child, her parents had adopted her elder sister, Margaret Leigh, from South Korea. She was welcomed into the Heigl family 3 years before Heigl was born. And growing up, Heigl had a very strong relationship with her elder sister, and she was an inspiration to her. So when Heigl and her husband decided to start their family back in 2009, at Heigl's request, the couple chose South Korea as the adoption country. In a chat with Entertainment Tonight, the actress recalled, "When you're a kid and growing up and you're like, I'm going to get married someday and have a family, I knew for certain that I wanted to adopt from Korea." She wanted to recreate the kind of family she grew up in, to raise her children in a diverse and loving brood like the one she was raised in. According to her, "Josh and I started talking about it before we were even engaged. My sister Meg is Korean, and my parents adopted her 3 years before I was born. I wanted my own family to resemble the one I came from, so I always knew I wanted to adopt from Korea. We have talked about having biological children as well, but we decided to adopt first. I just wanted to be a mom." Heigl initially admitted that she had no idea about how she was to go about the adoption process. But somehow she got connected to the girl child with a congenital heart defect who had been abandoned by her birth mother in Seoul. At that point, the baby was a few months old. And for the next 6 months, Heigl and her husband did all they could to bring this girl to the US, including letting her undergo an open heart surgery. Heigl said after the surgery, her heart is 100% fine now. She has a scar, so she won't be wearing bikinis, which is fine by us. After adhering to her lengthy protocols and registration process regarding adoption, the couple officially became parents. A wonderful achievement since Heigl explained how difficult it was. A lot of children don't find forever homes because they're on that special needs list. Heigl had given the baby the name Nancy Leigh and called her Naleigh, a combo of Nancy and Leigh. Heigl wrote at the time in a post she uploaded, "The first 2 photos are the first 2 photos Josh B. Kelley and I received of our beautiful baby daughter, Nancy Leigh Mi-Eun, as she waited in South Korea to come home to us, and we waited in LA to hold the baby we already loved." They welcomed this child into their home in September 2009. She was 9 months and 3 days old at the time. Heigl said Naleigh's birthday was a day before hers in November, which she considered a sign. Bonding with Naleigh proved tougher than Heigl had thought. 3 days after she arrived at their home, Heigl had to leave to work on a project in Atlanta, Georgia. She said, at the time becoming a new mother, I was just like, I got it. I can handle this. They've told us we can have it all. We can have careers and have families, and it's all going to be great. Despite being optimistic about balancing her career and motherhood, she said she was concerned she and her daughter hadn't developed enough of a relationship before she returned to work. Heigl said of Naleigh's early days in her home, I never saw that baby. I was at work with 3 triplets who were playing with my goddaughter, and I spent more time with them than I did with my new daughter. She added, she felt really comfortable with Josh, and they bonded quickly. It was harder for me. Our social worker told us that it's pretty typical for kids to react differently to their new mothers. It was a struggle for me because all I wanted to do was bond with her. Naleigh got closer to Kelley, who she had spent more time with since Heigl was working. Heigl at the time said, I was always afraid that I had missed that opportunity to really bond with her and that she didn't love me. Kelley always bragged about his daughter. She's awesome. He even debuted a song for her at his Oxford, Ohio concert, singing the lyrics, just to see you in your mama's arms is all I need, to bring me to my knees. But something changed years after the adoption was completed. It was the first time Heigl would take Naleigh to the View. While Heigl was talking about the adoption process, the camera panned to young Naleigh. At that moment, the little girl made eye contact with Heigl and ran up onto the stage to hug her. This was a huge milestone for Heigl, as she now realized that her daughter had developed a tight bond with her. Years later, to celebrate Naleigh's 13th birthday in November 2021, Heigl shared heart-melting snaps of her daughter through the years and penned an equally moving tribute on Instagram. She wrote, the memories drift in and out, like the ebbing of the tide, and I keep trying to chase them, grip them tight in my hands, hold them still so I can live it all just one more time. This girl, the girl that made me a mother, the girl that gave my life purpose, meaning, direction, boundless, eternal love. This girl turns 13 today. 13. She is officially a teenager. I can't seem to process it. How did this happen? Wasn't she my silly, giggling, gap-toothed, roly-poly baby just a few years ago? Just yesterday. God, I am grateful for yesterday, for today, for tomorrow, for every memory that drifts in on a breeze and flutters across my heart. For every new memory I have the privilege of making with this extraordinary girl. She concluded, I love you, Naleigh. I love you with every fiber of being, every cell of my body, every wish in my heart. I love you. Happy birthday, my beautiful girl. Heigl explained that she never planned to adopt domestically in the US, but it just seemed to happen that way when she and Kelley welcomed daughter Adelaide to their family in 2012. She stated, this was fascinating because we started the adoption process again and we thought we were gonna adopt internationally. But given the lengthy process to adopt internationally, they started exploring the idea of domestic adoption, just exploring. However, the couple was fortunate because Heigl's representative contacted her with the good news that they could get a daughter who would be born in 4 weeks in Louisiana if they chose to adopt domestically. Gushing about her daughter, Heigl stated that Adelaide was a spitfire. She's going to be seriously running the world one day. She's terrifying, fierce little girl. When asked about her husband's thoughts about the adoption, she replied to Parent and Child magazine, anyone who doesn't have experience with adoption wonders, does love for a child come through DNA? I knew it didn't. My mother had biological children and an adopted child, and said it made absolutely no difference. They're yours. You love them the moment they're put into your arms. Josh had to learn that, but he was so gracious and accepting. Heigl never had intentions of having a biological child. She just wanted to adopt. She stated back in 2009, I'm done with the whole idea of having my own children. It doesn't seem like any fun. I don't think it's necessary to go through all of that. To the surprise of many, the happy couple revealed that Heigl was pregnant with their 3rd child in 2016 and had welcomed their biological son that same year. At the time, Heigl told a magazine that she was so relieved when she learned she was having a baby boy. It was actually a big reason why I was vacillating between trying to get pregnant or adopting again, since with adoption you can specify the sex, she said. She then added jokingly, I just thought another girl could mean lifelong therapy for all of us. After the birth of her son, Heigl said that being the mother of 3 children helped her live to the fullest. Heigl and Kelley are the proud parents of 3 children, adopted daughters Nancy Leigh Mee Ian, 15, and Adelaide Mary Hope, 12, and their biological son, Joshua Bishop Jr., 7. According to her, it's so much better than I could have ever imagined, my life and family. I'm just trying to remember that and be grateful and try and hold on to it because you do get caught up in the minute. In the past years, Heigl has revealed the challenges that come with being a mother to adopted children, especially about the way she navigates the conversation about their origins. She acknowledged that she has made up her mind to inform her children about who they are. She realized the need when she spoke to her sister about her experience as an adopted child. When I asked my sister Meg if she had been treated one way when she was out in public with her parents and a different way when she was out by herself without them, she said, "Oh yeah, all the time." That made me realize I had been so naive. So, in speaking to her kids, she stated, "We have said to them, this is your story. We don't have any information about your biological fathers, but we do have a bit about your biological mothers. If you guys want to talk more about them, you can have as much or as little information as you want. Tell us what you're comfortable with knowing." Heigl talked about how protecting her daughters in the cruel society is all she tries to do. She added, "I need to protect my daughters and prepare them for the world because I can't change society in one fell swoop." It seems like Heigl has no desire for her family to grow anytime soon. She had admitted she had been set on becoming a mom again until the coronavirus pandemic happened. She added that they were considering the thought of adding another child to complete the home, but just didn't know what way to go, maybe adoption, biological, or foster care. After the pandemic, she stated, "I have completely changed my mind. I am very content with my 3. Heigl hardly puts her family on social media, but recently, she decided to share a portrait of her lovely family. The picture captured herself, her husband, Josh Kelley, their 3 children, and one of their dogs. Heigl followers on Instagram loved the laughter-filled image sparkling with the frenzy among them, very quickly took the comment section praising the family for its unique outlook. The couple and their children live in Utah with a menagerie of foster dogs, horses, and chickens after leaving the bright lights of Hollywood behind.